Welcome to Cartoonist Kayfabe. My name is Jim Rugg.
I'm Ed Piscor.
Going to look at Superman Aliens, another big intercompany crossover today, Ed. But first, let's hear about Red Room.
It's going to start coming out May 2021. This is the cover 2 of the first issue. Murder on the dark web for fun and profit. We do not bury the lead on the cover right there.
Rivers of gore.
Illegal acts of pornography and degradation live on webcam. Who wouldn't want to see what's in between these covers? And guess what, man? Tens of thousands of people are geared up, going to be getting their hands on this comic right away. We know that for a fact already. Stores were asking us about having these incentive covers. They order a certain amount of copies, they have the option to then get these kind of chase variants. So that's the Eddie P version. 12 copies out there, and I got to thank you for help goosing the numbers with your Dan Clowes 8-ball 1 variant cover. That's freaking incredible. Peach Momoko, she's exclusive to Marvel right now, so it was a luxury to get her to do a variant cover for Red Room. We moved that little piece right there so it doesn't look like bedroom. And then Third Eye Comics in Maryland runs a chain of about 5 shops. Steve out there ordered 1,000 copies, and we put together an exclusive cover for him. We started talking about it on the channel, and several other shops have reached out. I was up very late last night putting the final touches on another cover. Stores, you want to order 1,000, you're going to get an Eddie P cover. No doubt, man. So hit up the link in a link tree. People who are across the pond, you could go on eBay and put in an order for the comic at a regular rate with nominal shipping fees, not the exorbitant fees that require us to charge for across the pond. So things are moving steadily.
Man, that release date's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah, very excited.
You can join me on Patreon at patreon.com/JimRugg, where I share lots of original art, process, various things. One of those is out-of-print zines and mini comics like this notebook drawings catalog. This went up in March for all of my subscribers, and it is a collection of ballpoint pen drawings. This was a catalog for an art show, so you can see a sample of what that looks like here. As you can imagine, this catalog went out of print very quickly, so the only place to really get it at this point is on my Patreon, and that is patreon.com/JimRugg, along with a lot of other bits of art and comics and process kind of stuff.
I feel like this notebook is your most kind of autobiographical, non-escapist kind of project, even though it is exploring pop culture imagery.
This is based on an old Gil Kane panel.
I was going to ask you, there's another Lizard one a couple pages earlier where there's like a big like a Godzilla foot or something, and I wondered where that came from.
Yeah, you're kind of right about the autobio stuff. This is certainly things that I enjoy enough to spend hours drawing them. So patreon.com/JimRugg is where you can find that. But we're here, Ed, to talk about 1995's Superman Aliens crossover. The main reason that I bought this back in the day is Kevin Nowlan, and it made it through my early 2000 purge because I'm such a Nolan mark. But prestige format, kind of cool. You're pairing, we recently covered Batman Predator. I think that was a hit for both companies. So what else can we do? Superman and Aliens, probably the other two big marquee characters of Dark Horse and DC Comics at this time period. And why not? 2 aliens, matching up in a fight. Sounds like can't miss. I love this first cover. Feels very iconic, very Geiger-esque. And I think that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, for sure. These opening pages, like the title page, but also like page 1 of these comics, has the Giger kind of motif all around, and I think it's different on each one. At least the comic page part of it. So that's like a cool touch. Let's see if I'm right.
Yeah, different drawings, and that's a good one. Cool. So, Dan Jurgens' longtime association with Superman, of course, going into, I don't know, maybe a decade or more that he worked on the character, often as writer-artist. In this case, he's doing writing and layouts. Nolan's doing your finished line work, and then you have a different team doing lettering and coloring, which sometimes Nolan does, and I like seeing the same artist do as much of this as possible. So in this case, 3 issues, all we get is his finished line art, but why not?
Don't turn the page yet before I make this comment, Jimmy.
Oh boy.
Because what we're going to see in this comic, and I don't remember this from the 90s, man. I have a lot of fond memories of the 1990s fashions and stuff. Terrible haircuts. Like everybody has bad fucking haircuts.
Mullet Superman era.
Yeah, which is really a tragedy when you get Kevin Nowlan to make a comic, right? Like, it would be nice if it was like the on model kind of Superman, but like his mullet, like I don't like the way he does the mullet where it's like these kind of like striations or something like this.
That one's really hardcore where it's really mullety.
Yeah, but it's like lumped up. It's kind of gross. Like it's clumped up and like starting to dread or something. Like he doesn't
like the wet
comb
look.
it. And then this is like, when all the girls are walking around with them Skrillex haircuts like a couple of years back, man. Like I don't remember any girls in the 90s rocking this shit right here, man. But that's the wackest haircut. That's a corny ass haircut. And when you turn the page, you're going to see, you're going to meet a lady who has another corny haircut. Like, look at that shit.
Yes, this is Cheryl Kimball working for LexCorp. The story here is they intercepted an object coming to Earth, something of intelligent design, not an asteroid or whatever, and for some reason invite Superman and Lois to cover the story.
Yeah,
which is. It's ludicrous. Like they're out somewhere very remote, like they're checking in with a ship and stuff for their helicopter. And whenever Clark hears a little bit of this information, he needs to investigate this on his own. So what does he do? Overheats the helicopter controls with his heat vision. Like his ability to stay incognito. I don't know, man. They have to force land it on this island, and he's going to go look for help, go look for a road. Of course, turns into Superman.
Here's the thing about
it's
this
tough
comic.
to make some of this stuff work in a story.
Here's the thing,
don't over-explain this.
All of this stuff, right? Like it's almost the same trajectory, and all of these crossovers are this way, where it's like issue 1 is like leading up to the meeting. The comic is called Superman Aliens. I wonder what is going to be discovered. Page 1, fucking give me that alien spitting that semen on Superman's eyes and blinding him or whatever is about to happen here. That's page 1 if you want me to read this thing. I tried. I got yay far and was like, you know what, Jimmy, you do the heavy lifting.
I will, because I actually think the story's pretty good. But I did think of what you just described compared to Predator, which is like, Predator can just show up on page 1 killing people. Aliens have such a it's a lot of work to get Superman and aliens in a room together. So
yeah, but
it starts with him grabbing this escape pod. You're right. You could tell these events out of order and seeing Kryptonian markings on the side.
That's the other thing too. It's like, okay, last son of Krypton, and it's like we have evidence that there are about 4 million Kryptonians who have escaped Krypton. So like, let's add even more.
Well, it's enough to get Superman's attention peaked. And he is now going to work with LexCorp to some degree in order to get like a deep space ship and to fly to follow where this escape pod thing came from. And they do oversimplify that a bit, which I'm thankful for. And I don't want a deep explanation on how they reverse engineer this back.
If this wasn't 3 prestige format books, we would have been able to get Kevin Nowlan to design the pages, maybe letter them, maybe add his color treatment.
Check it out, dude. Some Valiant vision.
Yeah.
Get your glasses at home.
Look at that mullet. Like, it's unforgivable.
I also think it's funny the way he sits. Because imagine this is like a god sitting there. That's like how you would sit.
With your legs, taking up all the space on the subway.
It's he's definitely, it's a large footprint that he's making whenever he's seated. But he reaches the city in only 22 pages, the length of an average comic book at the time, and finds markings that something's trying to get into this like walled city. A lot of, I was going to say carnage, but it doesn't look overly bad, except that there's like nobody in this city. It's an abandoned city, and some of it is in ruin, even though we don't see a lot of that ruin. But he finds some survivors, and his plan is he's going to send them back, puts them on his ship, I guess it's too far for him to fly without the sun power for himself.
Sure. I like this image right here.
And sends the ship back. So now he is stranded in deep space, and his powers are diminishing because he's away from the Earth's sun. Yeah, all the explanation stuff sucks.
Yeah, it's like issue 3 is the one that matters, and that's like how all of these kind of crossovers work. It's like issue 1 is the setup to get us in the room. Issue 2 is like, how's it work in Hero's Journey? It's like they accept the mission, and then they have to fail, and then get the tool necessary to go into like the final issue to vanquish the villainy.
I like that image of Superman. A lot of these images of Superman, I think, are pretty good. I like Nolan's treatment of it. But you see Superman's basically exploring, right? And he finds all the alien pods underground, including a xenomorph. And the place reeks of death. There were a few Dan Jurgens projects like this where he did layouts and someone else finished. The other one I think of is Day of Doom that Bill Sienkiewicz finished. And I think that we were possibly meeting up. That was like early 2000s, I think, because I remember buying that one from Phantom at the time. But I liked seeing these like finishers coming in and working over his layouts. And hey, there you go. What the hell are you? Superman cursing. It's bad whenever Superman's cursing. Not quite R-rated like you'd expect with aliens, but for the big blue Boy Scout, that's pretty strong language.
Yeah, he said the H word.
Nolan also did, I think, finishes on the Wildcats alien crossover.
There was a Wildcats alien crossover?
That's the thing that set up... Warren Ellis wrote it, and he was real mad about it, apparently. And they're like, you can kill any characters you want from the Wildstorm universe. And that's what launched Authority and Planetary came out of that crossover, I believe. But it's Nolan over Chris Sprouse. Yeah, I like I said, I'm a Nolan fan, so I would get this stuff just based on him finishing, which was... a lot of Nolan's work, that's what you get are these pieces. I don't know if he's really slow or what, but he does a lot of these kind of collaborative pieces. Nonetheless, we're here for this. This is Superman getting a little bit of a taste of what this alien is all about. And the alien is pretty tough on him. He's able to hurt Superman in a way that Superman does not expect.
Even mentions Doomsday a time or two.
Yeah. Ooh. Scoring a direct hit right in his forehead. And it burns.
Yeah, there it is in his eyeballs, man.
Yes. That's kind of an unfortunate visual.
Well, it's colored reasonably.
Yeah, that helps. Well, I don't know.
That green putrid, like, we don't know.
By the way, this alien fights pretty good. Like, slamming Superman face first in his injured state. Choking him out.
And it's Dan Jurgens' layouts, man. So he went to Metropolis City Hall, grabbed that Superman statue, and is jabbing that one. The same one that Doomsday pile drove.
Elbow to the ribs. And as Superman's struggling a little bit, Kara, possibly the last other Kryptonian, shows up with a flamethrower just in time to burn that thing to a crisp, which Superman does not approve of.
She has a bad haircut, too, by the way.
Well, she's stranded in deep space, Ed.
It's the least bad haircut of everybody I've seen in this comic so far, though.
And she's another expositional device here to fill in Superman on what's going on and to give us a little bit of insight if you're not familiar with the aliens and what they're made of. Like, she's astounded that this acid did not basically eat through his head because, as she describes, it can go through a foot-thick steel floor. It could go through several floors. Nasty, nasty stuff. And we end with not only is Superman now stranded in kind of a dire situation, he has sent an alien-infected people back to Lois Lane and presumably to Earth. That's a good cliffhanger.
I love that sequence in Spaceballs, by the way. You remember? Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. When that thing starts dancing and hopping across the counter.
Return to the LexCorp space station where now aliens are showing up. Some of the members are dead. A couple of them are still alive, but also infected. And we've got a xenomorph now on the space station.
That could be another one of those unfortunate kind of like...
Yeah, what's in there?
Like liquid
what were they doing?
Gimmicks.
What were they doing on the ride back?
That is a cool background right there.
Nolan's art's very strong throughout. There are times when I get mad at some of the static kind of compositions, but I don't know, man. I bought it for Nolan, and I'm not disappointed in that. Coloring your line work, something that was starting to be done more with digital color showing up.
Is that called a tangent?
I don't know about a tangent,
Bad
but it
crop?
definitely looks like a page for amputee love. And there's the mullet being just double lit and really shown off.
Just greasy and like matted together. It's like worse than like Razor Ramon, or you know what I'm saying? It's just wet.
It is.
And like it's stuck to his neck. It's just ratty.
Yeah, it's a weird choice that they made. Another one of the great lighting throughout. Like that's one of the things Nolan has to bring to this is just that really cool lighting throughout. And we're back in LexCorp, where an alien pops out of one of the survivors' chests and gets loose, squirms away.
The way he builds faces is so unique to him. It's what you see when he finishes other people's art.
That's a great Superman face.
Yeah, but it's clearly a Nolan face.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see how his faces translate into like the animated series and some of the characters he designs, because it's like with a few sweeping strokes, like that animation team is able to capture the Kevin Nowlan aesthetic.
Yeah, he's able to simplify almost like it's totally different style, but almost like a Toth, where it's like, this is the main lines that you guys need.
Right.
I like this panel a lot for composition. I think that's pretty good. How about that? That's what we came for.
Yeah.
And, Nolan is credited, Lois Lane and her haircut facing down with the xenomorph. Thankfully, it's from this side, because otherwise we wouldn't see her face.
Well, her head's like lopsided, right? Like her neck would be craned to one side.
More of that cool lighting. And Nolan is credited with finished art. It's definitely him doing like, what we're pointing out when we go, cool lighting or whatever. Totally a Nolan feature. More of the Superman alien battles, which is good. Rips the alien tail in half. Careful to avoid the acid that comes out of there. But this is him really leaning into, I don't want to kill stuff. But
pull the comic down just a touch.
Without giving away the kill parts, of course he's going to come back on that too. Mm-hmm. Cross cut to LexCorp station, and Lois Lane is now in this ship bay dealing with a xenomorph, and opens up the, like to make it decompressed, opens up the doors, and that's kind of how she handles it. Because the doctor working for Lex Luthor does not want the alien destroyed.
This is what I said to some of our old. Go back real quick, by the way. Total penis right there.
Totally.
This is what I said about like when we did a Star Wars thing, where it's like, now you got to do all the things that have been done in the movie in your like little adaptation comic. So we have the end of Alien, the first Alien movie right here, but not really. We have to keep the comic going.
As Superman is like stripped of his clothing too, and kind of weird choices.
And that boner is like right in between his legs, about to like sword fight.
Yeah. Oh man, because it's shades of like Dr. Peculiar. Like that's kind of an unfortunate. What a composition!
That's what I love.
There's stuff leaking out.
Because Giger's art is all dicks and pussy and shit like this, man.
So maybe they're spot on here.
I mean, they totally are, and it's great that it's in corporate fucking Warner Brothers comic.
Yeah, that's a strong page. He's still able to grab the survivors and get away, but he's no longer able to fly. So here he is leaping.
Oh, dude!
Like classic
back
Superman.
To 1939.
Yeah, classic Superman as he's getting weaker and realizes he's getting weaker. And what are they going to do about it? Well, what they're going to do is get caught. Overwhelmed by aliens, wakes up in the Queen's nest, and here comes your face hugger. Superman gets face hugged. That's what you want too.
How can this?
All the aliens look really good.
Yeah, they're very slick. Like
they look metallic almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
It's cleaner than you've ever seen them, because there would be like those duotone aliens, and Giger, he's got that kind of things are tight, but it's kind of smeary and kind of soft focus. This is like hyper focused. You see every detail.
Reminds me a lot of Kelly Jones' version. Yeah. And I think Kelly Jones did his Aliens before this came out, but it reminds me a little bit of some of that treatment of like the shadows and blacks and feathering those edges to make it very clean. And Superman now infected. Pretty good. If you're going to do a Superman Aliens, like, they kind of figure out a way to get him infected. Unfortunately, she is also infected.
Uh-oh.
And they still have no way to get out of here. Superman needs the sun, and he wants to rescue this last Kryptonian, who turns out here, spoilers, 26 years later, not a Kryptonian. This is a group of people who came in contact with Krypton and adopted a bunch of their culture is why they have some of this.
Whenever you have a crossover and you introduce a new character, they may not be long for this world.
That's pretty fun coloring. Blue, yellows.
Still that weird period, though, of computer color, trying to figure that stuff out. So there's all these like weird like little lens flares and weird shading things. Like Gregory Wright.
There are a lot of those.
Gregory Wright has fundamentals. Like he's good. Like he's good at the 4-color stuff. We looked at a lot of Gregory Wright comics on this channel so far. I didn't really know that he made the transition to the computer color. So he's got the basic color theory down, but it's just like master those tools, man, because everything is the same varnish, like everything's the same slickness. The textures are all kind of the same.
That seems like an effective defense, shooting an alien in the mouth.
You would think.
I also think if you get this close to an alien and you're a human, you should be dead. The aliens are not attacking Superman now, and I think it's because he's infected with a queen. I think is the reason.
He's with child, man.
Yeah,
he's one of them. Gooba gobble, gooba gobble. We accept you, one of us.
I like this too. She found like a scrap of his clothes, so he ties it on as an armband.
Got to keep the branding up.
Yes, you do. I guess so. Dan Jurgens is a good soldier. And this just gets into, how do you wrap all of this up? How do you excuse, or how do you, figure out how to get Superman off of this remote deep space site? And, of course, there's an escape pod located in a crashed ship. And she is going to, because she's infected and she's not a Kryptonian, it's not going to be as easy as just trying to get her back to the sun to recharge like it will be with Superman. And so how do you save her life? At the last minute, Superman figures out this way based on this like transport device. His plan is to transport the alien out of her and then transport her into this escape pod. But instead she leaves this transportation area and triggers like the big explosion that happens. That's her doing. So she sacrifices to save him, even though he had figured out how to save her. And now he gets back to the Earth sun, and you can see the ball just trying to get out. And he flies near the sun to, recharge. And then it's a matter of who's going to win, me or the alien.
You're not going to comment on that lone tear in his eye, like it's the...
I was trying not to see that, Ed.
Like it's that
I'm trying not to commit that one.
Famous litter commercial.
Memory. Man, then you get really heavy with that, with the old commercial.
Yeah.
My childhood commercial.
Yeah.
Don't litter. It's good policy.
I forget that guy's name, Blue Eyes Cody or something like that.
Oh, I have no idea. And Superman's back to full power now, back on the space station, just in time to save Lois, whose hair does get swept out of this side, if you see her from the left, and breaks off the alien teeth whenever it tries to bite down on Superman's arm. It's also a strong spacesuit, because it doesn't get punctured. And that's it. They win. I don't know. It's Kevin Nowlan art. I think the aliens look good. I think it's as good as you can do with one of these crossover stories, barring just to have an action fest.
I guess. Give me a shot. I bet you I could rock this, man. Sans the Kevin Nowlan artwork, man.
It'd be a Marvel DC crossover these days.
I guess so, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see one of those in the near future now or not. But, yeah, kind of an interesting comic. Some of it is the digital coloring that you talk about, those early days of digital coloring. Kind of interesting to see that, but I'm here for the Nowlan art, and he delivers as far as I'm concerned.
Sure. Anyhow, let's bounce, man. Kayfabers, like, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell. We'll notify you when new vids are available. What you got, Jimmy?
You can join me at patreon.com/JimRugg, or you can download my out-of-print and rare mini comics and zines. You can also see lots of my original art and process making of, that sort of thing. Patreon.com/JimRugg.
Red Room is going to start coming out in May. Hit the link in the link tree in this description below. You can pre-order your comic directly from Fantagraphics. Go to your comic shop, get it put on your pull list if you have a good place to visit. If you want to read the comics ahead of time, patreon.com/EdPiscor. $3 get you the archive. 3 issues are up there today.
You can subscribe to the Cartoonist Kayfabe e-newsletter at the links below this video to keep up with everything we have coming out. You can find Cartoonist Kayfabe t-shirts and merchandise at the links below the video as well.
Jimmy, give him one more set of marching orders, man. We're going to be on our way.
Read more comics.